So in this video I'm going to show you how you can steal one lick and turn it into 6 different ideas, helping you become a more creative and original guitar player. So that lick is based around a G7 sound, and it goes like this. We are using notes inside of the G minor pentatonic scale, the G blues scale, and also the G mixolydian, because we're actually introducing this major third. Okay? So now we want to develop that idea. What do we do? The first thing I'd always do is just look at how we can put this lick into different areas of the fretboard. And I'm not talking about different keys just yet. I'm just taking that one idea and moving it into different positions of the fretboard. So we're playing a G note, we're in the key of G. I would go to an open G string because I'm looking at the octave below. So that's now the new starting note. I'm trying to work out where those notes live in that position. Then you can go, there's an open G, I can play the same thing an octave higher. So that will be the 12th fret of the G string. Now I know some of you clever folk might be thinking, Dean, that's exactly the same note as the original. And indeed, you are right, because the 3rd fret of the high E is exactly the same as the 12th fret, of the G. However, you'll notice there's a slight difference in tone. I hope you agree that the one higher up sounds a little bit warmer, and that's because simply we're playing on thicker strings. And that's the purpose of this as well, is to really navigate the fretboard. You're going to get so much better at fretboard knowledge from this. It beats any particular exercise because you're learning vocabulary on different areas of the fretboard. So really, really valuable. Spend a lot of time on this and it will reward you. So with that in mind, you can then actually play the 8th fret of the B string, which again is the same note, but a slightly different sound. And the last one I want to go to is the 15th fret of the high E, which is an octave higher than our original. This one you could do the same thing. Now look at this, what you could also do is start on a different finger, playing the same notes but trying to move away from that original shape. Again, that's going to improve your fretboard knowledge massively. So here we go. So next we're going to create a line before it. So idea number 3, we can play that original lick and then add something after it. So that would be this. So all I'm doing there is I'm just adding this nice little flurry of notes, like a bluesy lick. And then just going back down the blues scale, but then just using a different rhythm coming down. A nice little triplet there. 1 triplet, bum, bum, and a nice little country lick to end. Now that note there isn't part of the mixolydian or the blues scale or the minor pentatonic. It's actually the major 7th of G. It's a semitone below our root. That's quite a cool note. A lot of country players use that, and I think Mateus actually uses that note in that video actually as well. And that sounds really cool. It's just a really nice ending tension. So I will be giving you some new ideas that's going to make your lick sound completely different, but at the moment we are just rinsing this lick for all it's worth. I think you should do the same for everything you do learn, because you're going to get more mileage out of it. So let's look at idea number 4, where we're taking the bit before and the bit after to make this really nice long passage. So idea number 5, we're taking the rhythm for that original lick, but then placing it in a different part of the scale, or just using different notes basically. So I've decided to take that rhythm but start on the 10th fret. Now that is not a G, that's a D note, which is the 5th degree of the scale. So I'm starting on a really strong chord tone. And once you're there, you're kind of figuring out, okay, what notes options have I got? You know, you can figure out the Mixolydian scale, you can figure out the minor pentatonic there, if you don't really know that, or the blues. Sorry, I made that mistake. And then, yeah, you just see all the different options. You can obviously use your ear as well if you don't already know these scales. And I suggest you sign up to my newsletter as well, where I'll be giving lots of tips and tricks, and also my Patreon site where all this stuff will be included. So this idea is going to completely change the sound. What we're doing here is taking an element from this original lick that you kind of really liked. It could be a rhythmic thing, or it could have been a note in there that you kind of really liked. But if it's something rhythmic, that can be a little bit easier to start off with. The idea I've got from this particular lick was that slide between the 4th up to the flat 5 and back down to the 4th, so that. And yeah, you can kind of like use that as your kind of basis. So I've used that, and then I'm trying to then create something different from all those notes really. So let me just show you what I've done, and then we can break that down. Okay, so here we go. So what I'm doing there, I'm sliding from the root to flat and 9th. So straight away that's given me a different sound altogether. And I'm breaking all the rules. I'm not playing minor pentatonic, I'm not playing blues, I'm not playing Mixolydian, but it's given me a different sound completely. And I'd like you to experiment with that. Don't just feel trapped with all these scale shapes that you learn. Try to go outside the box. And one thing I love to do, which always sounds great, and I think I might have stolen this from a Joe Bonamassa video, bending up a semitone below a scaled note or a chord tone. So if you've got like the pentatonic here, every note that's in the pentatonic, if you go a semitone below and bend up, and that gives you a different. And then yeah, you just come up with different sounds, which is all good. So all those tabs will be available on my Patreon site, and if you do want to take your playing to the next level, be sure to check out that. And also, if you're really serious about taking your playing to the next level, go and check out this video here. This is all about one really important thing that not a lot of people are doing, that I think you should not ignore. So don't ignore it, go and click on that now, and I'll see you over there.